Hey everyone, we have some unfortunate news for you guys. If you are concerned about hackers, if you're concerned about cheaters, if you're concerned about pirating in general when it comes to Switch, because we have been able to confirm, both through some actual hackers that I have some contact with, through a hacking community in GBA Tempt, and through our own research and analysis and downloading to just confirm its existence, the Nintendo Switch SDK has been leaked. The SDK is a software development kit. No, the actual dev units aren't out there and able to buy on eBay or anything like that. The only people who have access to a software development kit are people who are actually actively developing games for Switch. To get your hands on an SDK, you have to have a game already in development that you can show Nintendo, and then you need to contact Nintendo to request access to the SDK. Then it goes through this long process of approvals, and then Nintendo gives you the SDK. Sometimes you have to pay money for the access, but either way, you get access to the SDK to continue to develop your game for the Nintendo Switch platform. The software development kit is vital to putting games on Switch, because you could have a dev unit of Switch all you want, but without the SDK to go along with it, it's very hard to develop games to run on the platform. And it is not common, believe it or not, for the SDK to become public. Even as dev units over time leak out to the public and you could purchase them on eBay and other things like that, the SDK usually doesn't become this thing that people find out about or know about until long after a platform has already made all of its money and is no longer for sale. SDK leaking is very, very rare because it has to come from developers. Now look, we know that ROMs and other things leak before games come out because that comes from media or comes from people who got a copy that fell off a truck. But we're talking about this leaking out of the development community, likely the indie scene, as they are the ones that might be more willing to risk their entire career because they can go down a different path, leaking this. And now hackers have full access to the software development kit. What is this going to allow them to do? Find tons and tons and tons of loopholes in Nintendo's system, because the software development kit isn't built with security in mind, shall we say. The software development kit's entire purpose is to get a game you're creating to run on Switch. Its purpose is for Nintendo Switch development of software. It is not necessarily 100% concerned with security measures. That's stuff that you worry about with the software you're putting on Switch, not the actual development kit that helps you get it there. So because of this, it's going to allow people to discover more vulnerabilities with Switch than are currently known. It's going to allow people to more readily, easily, and figure out how to pirate games on Switch and pirate them 100% successfully, including brand new releases like Octopath Traveler and the Super Mario Party coming up, and Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. All these games are going to start to be pirated on the platform because of the SDK making it public. If there was ever something to happen that would force Nintendo into releasing a brand new Switch that uses a brand new SDK that nullifies the old one, it would be this. Is Nintendo going to do that? Probably not, because that would mean throwing all of the current Switches on the market kind of in the dumpster fire, because it wouldn't be able to use the same development methods, and that's just like moving on to a new generation of hardware. Nintendo's not going to do that. So this actually puts Nintendo in quite the pickle that this is out there, because all they can really do is punish the people who leaked it, or the person who leaked it. Once they get their hands on this leaked kit, I'm sure they could tell which developer it was sent to based on code and all this stuff. And obviously that person is going to be permanently blacklisted, maybe even have a massive lawsuit filed against them in the hundreds of millions of dollars, because Nintendo is going to be very, very pissed off, and rightfully so, that this SDK has now become public, especially this early in the Switch's lifespan. So what does this mean? It means that we have even more to worry about in the future. Instantaneously, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean there's going to be any more people hacking Splatoon 2 or ARMS or Mario Kart or any of those online games than there already are. It doesn't necessarily mean there's going to be any more people modifying and hacking their Switch and pirating games more than there already are in the moment. But this does mean probably rather soon, within a month or two, you're going to see full Switch pirating. You're going to see even more people finding ways to hack more easily into online games and working around Nintendo's automatic detection system and their banning system. And ultimately, this is one of the worst possible things that could have happened if you are staunchly against the hacking community. If you love the hacking community, then this is one of the best things that could have happened for you. Now, I've gone on record many times saying that I am kind of a fence rider when it comes to the hacking community. I think there's a lot of great things that come out of the hacking community, such as the fact that you can back up your saves. The only way to back up saves right now is by hacking and homebrew. However, there's also that negative side. I don't agree with ever pirating a single Switch game on Switch. I think that is deplorable, regardless of if you're doing it for financial reasons or whatever excuse you want to throw out there. I think it is absolutely, utterly deplorable that people would steal games like that. Unfortunately, there's nothing that can really be done about it now. I'm sure Nintendo's going to do the best they can and try to figure out something to do about this, but it's out there. It's public. The developer that did it, the person who did it, is going to be in big trouble, and that's really all there is to it. This is going to be an ongoing developing story for a long time. We're probably going to find out new hacks and new information that's going to occur because of this, new bugs, new everything. The floodgates are about to open, folks. Someone just cracked the dam, which already had a few cracks in it, and it's soon going to break, and this machine's going to be fully hacked to hell. Probably similar to the way the PSP was, maybe even the DS, when you had those flash carts and everything. It's not going to personally affect me outside of people cheating in online games, but this is going to have a massive impact on Nintendo. Maybe it's going to increase Switch sales like it did for PSP a little bit because people are going to buy it specifically because it's easy to hack. I don't know, but this isn't good. This isn't a good story. I don't have good feelings about this. As much as I adore the hacking community for some things, I hate them for other things. And what I absolutely hate is when a developer crosses up Nintendo and says, you know what, screw you, Nintendo. We're going to throw this out to the public just to shove it in your face. And all I'm going to say to that developer, no matter who he or she is or the company that they work for, screw you right back. All you did is just open this platform up to be a bigger concern to many of us who just want to play games on this system, including online, and play them fairly and justly with equal terms for everyone. Anyways, folks, sorry that this has to be a bit of a somber note, but I'm not feeling good about this one today. Anyways, folks, I'm Nathaniel Rebelljans from Nintendo Prime, and if you liked the video, I don't even like the video. You know what to do. If you dislike the video, hit that dislike button. Subscribe for more content. And as always, folks, I'll catch you guys in the next one.